What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Variety Sports Network. My name is Brandon. We're here with our divisional round NFL playoff picks and just talk in general. For there's two games today, two games tomorrow. So we're going to talk about it. Down to the final eight, top seeds arrested, pressure sky high, trip to the conference championship game is on the line. So we got four massive matchups to break down. So let's get into our 2026 divisional round picks. Last week saw a lot of craziness. Saw the Rams almost lose to the Carolina Panthers. The Eagles 49ers game was a heck of a game. Bills Jaguars was really good as well. Um, all around good games. The last two games of the night, at least the Chargers. Um, who am I thinking of? Chargers Patriots game was kind of bleh, and the Steelers Texans game was not so great either. So back here, we're going to talk about some of the first matchups here. We got the first matchup right away, though, coming into this one is you have the Denver Broncos taking on the Buffalo Bills in a big matchup, in a big, just probably should be the best game of the week. So let's talk about it. What the heck happened? There we go. All right, so you're looking at two teams, two really good teams. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills head to Denver to face the AFC's top seed in one of the most anticipated games of the weekend. Now, looking at the story, looking at the stats line here, clearly, I mean, Buffalo's good. Buffalo's good, but that Denver defense is top notch. One of the better defenses that we've seen all season. Throughout the year, at least, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. And again, should be a great game. Game is in Denver. It's the first game of the divisional round side of things this week. Buffalo's coming off a big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game that, well, they almost blew at the end. They gave up a lead late, right? Gave a ball right back to Jacksonville. Jacksonville runs the ball down. Buffalo turns around, does the same with that weird touchdown at the end, that tush push touchdown that, well, wasn't a touchdown, but they got it down to the 1 yard line. So I mean, it was a little bit of craziness, and you had the Trevor Lawrence interception to seal the deal for the Buffalo Bills to move on to take on the number one seed Denver Broncos. Now these are the stats here from the regular season. You're looking at the Buffalo Bills 15th in passing, 13th in receiving. Denver's on the other side. They're pretty similar when it comes to these kind of those stats. The big one is the rushing difference, which I think might come into a little bit of factor today. Can James Cook get some pressure on that defense this week, and then turn around the other side of things? The Denver defense is really, really good. They're first in the league in interceptions for a reason. And then, that could throw a wrench into the plans for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you look at the Buffalo Bills; they had a heck of a road to get to the Super Bowl this year. You already had to take down the number 3 seed Jaguars. You're going to have to take down the number 1 seed Denver Broncos in Denver on the road, and then possibly have to go play in New England next week. Or you get a home game against, I believe it would be a home game, should be a home game against the Houston Texans. Actually, you know what? I don't think it would be. Would it? Because the Texans were the 5 seed. So yeah, I'd imagine, I think they'd have to be on the road for all 3 playoff games. Unless, no, there's no, because Buffalo's a 6 seed. Pretty positive. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm almost positive that's the case. Buffalo's coming in hot, though. They're coming in playing pretty decent football right now. Denver's coming off of a bye. They've been dominant at home all season, and earn that bye for a reason. So we'll see what happens. It's not going to be too awful of a day from the sounds of it out in Denver, out at Mile High. So we'll see. We'll see where this one goes. Go ahead and put your predictions in the comments below before I get to mine. I think this is a good game. I think it's a good game. You're looking at some key matchups, though. You're looking at Josh Allen's mobility versus that Denver pass rush, and then the Bills secondary taking on the Broncos playmakers, whether or not they can get some stops when they need to. Most teams coming off the bye, though, that you get a little bit of rest. You're coming up against a team who played a pretty good Jacksonville Jaguars team last week, who's got some momentum. Um, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think the big X factor for today's game between these two teams is going to be the turnovers between the Broncos and the Bills. If Josh Allen comes out and throws a couple of interceptions, even one early on, it's going to throw a big wrench into their play, into things for today's game against the Broncos. So you're looking at a really good defense and offense who can put up some points when they need to, but they also at the same time have an offense that will go out there and lay an egg too. It was Bo Nix's big first challenge as a Denver Broncos starting quarterback. Hasn't been a Denver Broncos starting quarterback to win a playoff game since Tim Tebow. So it's been a while at home, I believe. So it's been a while for the Denver Broncos to get to this point. So we'll see what happens. Game is just going to be strength on strength. The difference is going to be, for me, is Buffalo's ability to create explosive plays when the pocket breaks down, and Josh Allen is really, really good at doing that. So I like Josh Allen. I think the Buffalo Bills, if they get through today, I think they have a really good shot at getting to the Super Bowl. Again, I mentioned it just like I said in the wild card games. This is Josh Allen's opportunity to win a Super Bowl, to get that little whatever's on his back, to become that guy in Buffalo. Buffalo has a history of getting very far into the playoffs, and at least early on, and not doing much with it. So we'll see if Josh Allen can turn things around here in Buffalo. I have the Buffalo Bills getting a 20-17 win today over the Denver Broncos. I think the pressure is just going to be a little too much again for Bo Nix and the Broncos, or a team that has not been there, hasn't been in this spot before. Buffalo has. They know how to play in these close games. They know how to play a close game, good game management game. Is going to happen today for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, and they walk out with a 20-17 win over the Denver Broncos. Now, both of these teams are really good. It's a little disappointing that we're going to see one of these two teams exit already. But that's how things work with the way the seeding is set up this year, or seeding is set up in the NFL playoffs. It's definitely AFC Championship style of caliber of a game. So again, I got the Bills though getting a 20-17 win. Their experience comes into a factor here as well for the Bills. We'll see. But we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts on these games, just as much as we like talking about them and whatnot. We want to hear from you too. We'll jump over to the other AFC game. I know this one is tomorrow. Looking at I pulled up the wrong thing. So you're hitting my things early. So you got 20-17 also in this one. I think this is a close game. The defense for the Houston Texans looked really good against Pittsburgh the other last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're looking at both teams who are playing good football coming into the playoffs. Houston's won, I don't know how many straight now, 13 or 14 straight. I thought that's what the little stat I saw said. Or they're 12-1 in their last 13 games, or 13-1 in their last 13 games, or something on that order. But you're looking at two really good teams right now. Texans continue their playoff run, and I think they got a good chance to pull off an upset. But we'll see what happens. I don't think New England looked overall that impressive against the Chargers the other day or the other week. And they weren't playing a great defense. And I wouldn't say a great defense, a good offense. And that's been the Chargers' problem the last couple of weeks, is that their offensive line struggled against the Patriots. Justin Herbert, they did not look good And the Patriots, that defense that they played against the Chargers wasn't wasn't great. It's not a great defense, and I think the Texans defense is a lot better than the Chargers defense in this case. So we'll see. I think that you're looking at a young, um, explosive Texans offense. I know there's no Nico Collins, which might throw things for a loop for the Texans, but I think defensively they'll do enough to get a 20-17 win over the um, over the New England Patriots in Foxborough, setting up a pretty good AFC Championship game. Some of my key matchups for this game, you're looking at the Texans quarterback, can CJ Stroud, um, get past some of those coverages that the New England Patriots and Vrabel throws at, and I think that was some of the issue that Justin Herbert had last week too. Is that once you got into the red zone for the Patriot or for the Chargers, New England threw these types of coverages and stuff, all different types of coverages at you. Rather, it was um, man press, half man, half zone, or it was just a weird type of zone coverage for the New England Patriots. But they were able to confuse and able to make the Chargers make mistakes. And if the Patriots can do that this week, um, they'll have a really good shot at winning this game. I do believe that. But you also have the Texans receivers taking on the New England Patriots secondary. That secondary for the New England Patriots is a force. They're pretty good. They have I think they looked a little beat up though during that Chargers game. They lost I know they lost one of the rookie cornerbacks early on in that game too. Um, but I like the Houston Texans to get a 20-17 win. Got X factor wise for this game. Texans got to be disciplined. You're playing a really good team, disciplined team in the New England Patriots. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do have a 20-17 win, in case you already missed that. 20-17 win for the Houston Texans over the New England Patriots tomorrow night. This is where I trust the Houston Texans. I know they've very similar to what to the Denver Broncos for the New England Patriots. To me, it's a team that they don't have a lot of playoff experience. Um, I don't think they played an overall great LA Chargers team last week, and I don't think they looked that impressive in that win against the Chargers as well. But if they could stay, if New England could stay aggressive, not play scared, I think they do have a chance to win this game at the same time. Should be a good game as well. But this is where I trust the Houston Texans playoff experience a little bit more. Defensively, they are one of the better defenses that we've seen the last 6 weeks of the NFL season. They played really well, so I expect that again out of the Houston Texans today. So give me a 20-17 win for the Houston Texans. I'm moving over to tonight's key matchup between two really good teams in the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, two really good teams here, both out of the NFC. Not surprised that we have three NFC West teams in the final eight at the moment. Now, that could easily be knocked down to one by the end of the weekend. This is the game tonight, though. You're looking at two really good teams. Now, there is some issues with Sam Darnold. He does have an oblique injury that happened on Thursday, where he hasn't thrown a ball. At least that's what the reports are saying. The sources are saying hasn't thrown a ball since Thursday. Drew Lock has been taking first-team reps just in case Sam Darnold is not able to go today. Now, if Sam Darnold cannot play tonight, I should say, I think the 49ers would get a win. I think they would just do enough. Drew Lock, though, does play. He didn't play he hasn't played that awful. And a few times I've seen him, but it is playoff matchup. It's playoff implications. San Francisco's been there, done that before. You're hearing that a lot. You're looking at a lot of teams who are playing teams that aren't crazy when it comes to their playoff experience. Is a familiar matchup with very massive stakes. Seahawks return from a bye to host a 49ers team who went to Philadelphia, beat Philadelphia. Um, they did enough. Like I said, they did enough. They did enough to beat the Eagles last week as well. So I was super excited about that. Was a great game. Um, Seattle earned that top seed by beating San Francisco a couple weeks ago. And just 2-3 weeks ago, um, Seattle thumped the 49ers at home. Is in Seattle again. San Francisco is bringing, though, playoff experience, a little bit more physicality, some momentum after that big win against the Eagles last week. They will be without George Kittle, though. Suffered that torn Achilles in Philadelphia, though. So that's going to play a little bit of a difference there. In my case, but looking at some key matchups, though, I got the Seahawks run game. Can they slow down Kenneth Walker? Against the 49ers front seven. I haven't heard if Fred Warner is going to be back yet. I don't know if there's any confirmation of that. I haven't seen anything, unless I missed it. I haven't seen anything that Fred Warner is going to be back for this game, or not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. The big X factor in this game is got to be the home field advantage for the Seattle Seahawks. It's a tough place to play. There's a reason why it's the 12th man. I've seen it over the years being a Rams fan when they were in St. Louis. That's a tough place to play. Seattle's a tough place to play. And it's going to throw it can happen, though. San Francisco can get a win in Seattle tonight. If Sam Darnold doesn't play, that might be I can't change my pick now because of that. As I do have Seattle. I think it's going to be a very physical, very good game. Seattle's balance on offense, though, if Sam Darnold is able to play, ability to control the tempo at home with that home field advantage. Give me a 28-17 win for Seattle to move on to the NFC Championship game. Now, I think this could be a closer game. It could be a little bit more low scoring. Last time when we saw these two teams face off, San Francisco looked like dog doo-doo. They did not look good. They did not look good. So give me the Seattle Seahawks to get a 28-17 win over the San Francisco 49ers. If Sam Darnold plays, I have to roll with it, though. I'm going to have to go with my gut instinct that he's going to play. You let that oblique injury heal a little bit. Obliques are take a while to heal, though. They can. You see it being an issue, though. At the same, that means they're going to have to rely. If he can't throw the ball very well, they're going to have to rely on the run game a lot. Which San Francisco, if they can stop that run game, and you don't have a passing game, if you're Seattle, boy, you're being for a long night. Brock Purdy's Brock Purdy. He's going to Brock Purdy. I can imagine. Guy's been in a couple Super Bowls, a couple NFC Championship games. No George Kittle, though. So who knows? We'll see what happens. This is just a giant question mark in my eyes. Depends on it really depends on if Sam Darnold's going to play. If Sam Darnold, I said it again. I won't say it again. If Sam Darnold doesn't play, this is a different game. So let me know what you think. Probably the second biggest game of the weekend, Seattle, San Francisco. So we'll see. We'll see. I like this one, though. This should be a good game. It's on this evening, later on, 7 o'clock, I believe. We'll talk about the final one, though. See who's going to take on the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. Now you're looking at two really good teams. Defensively, two really good teams. You got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Chicago Bears, a team with a lot of playoff experience. There's a team with not a lot of playoff experience. The Bears had an 18-point comeback last week against the Green Bay Packers. They can't let that happen again. I don't think it'll happen. LA is too tough. LA is too strong of a team for the Chicago Bears to make that type of comeback against. Now, they played last year. They haven't played this year against each other. LA is on the road, though, again, taking another decent trip from, they went to Carolina last week. Now they're going up to Chicago. I think I want to say LA gets a win. You're looking at the first ranked team in passing, first in points, second in receiving, sixth in interceptions against the. I mean, it's a good defense in the Chicago Bears team that has the first in interceptions. They're up there in the league as one of the top defenses in the NFL. Rams are traveling to Chicago to face a Bears team that's had a breakout season, earned the number 2 seed for a reason. They have 7 comeback wins this season. That includes last week's win against the Green Bay Packers. Where I think this week what's going to be different is Chicago does have a lot of youth. They have a lot of momentum. I don't know if they're going to be without Luther Burden, because I believe he got hurt at the end of that game last week with a quad injury. I haven't seen anything on him yet, whether or not he's going to play or not. I'd imagine we're going to find out today if he's in or out. Usually they let us know, a day or two ahead. Haven't seen anything on Luther Burden yet, though. So if you have, let me know. Rams have that playoff experience, though. This is a going trend in this week's divisional round. So the Rams have a lot of playoff experience. They have a quarterback who's been there, who's done that, who's won a Super Bowl. Puka's been there. They have running backs that have been in good situations in their past, and now that have gotten them there. They have a really good run offense. The Rams do, but so do the Bears. Key matchups, though, for me, you got to look at the Rams passing game taking on the Bears secondary. Now, the Rams passing game, the Rams look not good at the beginning. Well, they look good at the beginning of that game. There was a little bit of a momentum change, though, in that Carolina game last week that allowed Carolina to get a shot at upsetting the Rams, and they almost did. And we'd have been looking at a whole completely different style of games this week. And then the other key matchup is can the Bears quarterback, can Caleb Williams handle that playoff pressure? You get a big win last week against your division rival. Can they do it again against one of the powerhouses in the NFC, in the Los Angeles Rams? It's going to be tough. That'll be tough. I don't think they can allow a 21-3 lead to happen. This one might be over early. Now, the weather is going to play a factor in this one. It's supposed to be really cold with supposedly some snow in the mix of things as well. Now, Matt Stafford is a playoff quarterback. He's a road playoff quarterback. He's done it before. He could certainly play spoiler to this one. I think if the Bears win, though, that's considered the upset, because I don't think anybody expects the Bears to actually win this game. Maybe, well, outside of people in Chicago and Bears fans. I like the LA Rams, though, to get a 27-24 win. Late field goal gets the win for the LA Rams to move on to the NFC Championship game to take on the Seattle Seahawks for a shot at Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. So let me know what you think. That's just where I think things are. Those are my picks. Again, we missed them. Got the Bills, the Texans in the AFC Championship game, Seattle, LA in the NFC Championship game next week. So we'll see what happens. I got a little bit of rapid fire segment, and I'm going to get out of here for the day so we can watch some football today. Now, rapid fire wise, best game of the round, I'm going Bills-Broncos. Big upset. I'll go Patriots over Texans. No, I'll go Bears over Rams. Scratch that. Give me Bears over Rams as an upset. Not looking at the seeding side of things, just the style of the team that they are. Give me the Bears over the Rams. Most pressures on Buffalo. Again, well, and you could throw Denver in there. You could throw Denver into that most pressure. Looking at a team that has very high expectations. They're at home. They haven't won a playoff game at home since Team Tebow. So, yeah. Give me the most pressure on. I think it's the Broncos. I actually do think it's the Broncos. in this round. Buffalo has nothing to lose. I don't think Sean McDermott will be gone. He might be gone. I don't know though. No, I don't want to say he's going to be gone after this if they lose. Team that no one wants to face right now, Houston Texans. I wouldn't want to face them right now. They got a really good defense. I know they're out without Nico Collins this weekend, but their defense is enough to change a game very quickly. We saw that last week against the Steelers. I wouldn't want to play the Houston Texans right now. Best Super Bowl, it's the Seahawks. Well, yeah, I'll go Seattle with Sam Darnold. Best Super Bowl vibes. The team that's given me the best chance to get to the Super Bowl is the Seattle Seahawks. With Sam Darnold. With Drew Lock, no. With Sam Darnold, yes. So let me know what you think as well for who's going to win this week and who's going to face each other in the championship games. Said I got the Bills versus Texans in the AFC, and the NFC I got the Seahawks taking on the Rams. Should be good. It's our full breakdown of our 2026 NFL Divisional Round. So drop your picks in the comments. Let us know where we're right or wrong. Make sure you subscribe for full conference championship coverage. We'll see you next time here on Variety Sports Network.